sake of numbers though, we'll keep it here. So you get that kind of return, and now you're talking $12,680. Is that better than $2,000?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, 127% return. Why is that? Because you make money on everything. You make money on 200,000. Where else in anything that you do can you put in 10,000 and make money on 200? Anywhere else? It's a trick question because there's nowhere because you can't. So that's the only way you can do it. That's where you leverage your money. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Because this concept making sense to you, that's what you got tonight. And you didn't you're like, you know what, I have no interest in doing school, no interest in this. If you just got the concept of leverage, then it was worth it for me to be here because that creates better results and freedom and liberty in people's lives when they understand that. So, will history repeat itself? A couple things, it was pretty interesting. I was at a presentation the other day and heard some facts I hadn't heard yet. There's some stuff that I take out because I think there's way, way, way too much information in slides. So I shorten it down. And you guys are thinking, this is short? Just kidding. So, however, there's megapolitans being formed, okay? So where big cities are merging. Like you take LA and Las Vegas. They're coming together. They're coming together as a city, right? Is it smart to know where those things are happening? So maybe you go buy some land or homes like in between there where it's dirt cheap in 20 years you'll like quadruple times 4,000 your money, right? Good idea to know those things. And it's actually very interesting to know. I think it was that in the past, I want to say that it was like the past 100 or 200 years, they've developed like 300 million acres. And that in the next 25 years, 200 million acres will be developed. Isn't it like something around there, like an insanely large amount? So is it going to be smart to start getting in there and doing that stuff and knowing what's going on? Absolutely. History has to repeat itself. Look at these numbers. In those 17 years, 77 million people were born. In just 13 years, 80 million people were born. We're not going to start living outside, people. People are going to buy houses. All the people who are in that echo boomer age are starting to get to the point where they're purchasing homes, starting families, and it's important to know that. Because for a lot of people in this room, you either wish you bought 20 homes 20 years ago, or you wish your parents bought you 20 homes 20 years ago because you weren't old enough to buy a house. Right? Because how many people, we've got a young crowd, how many people were not old enough to buy a house 20 years ago? Yeah, we're a bunch of, and it's awesome though to see young people and people of all ages taking themselves on and looking at new things. It's amazing. But what are you going to say in 20 years? Are you going to say, I'm glad I bought 60? Are you going to say, I'm glad I learned some strategies? I'm glad I created the life that I wanted? Or like, that girl that talked kind of fast at the front of the room did have a good point, right? You guys can laugh, like I'm kind of funny. We've all got this like blank stare, right? So, who has ever gone to a real estate seminar? Who's ever been to a seminar? We can raise our hands, it's okay. We're together on this. Okay, last year, over $500 million was spent on these seminars. Less than 4% of people ever bought a home and made any money in real estate. The other problem with the seminars, what is the main objective at that seminar? So you buy the next seminar. That's what the whole point of them is, right? So you get a taste, and you're hungry, but they aren't going to feed you. You'll be fed at the next seminar, almost. And then it keeps going. Most people spend upwards of $80,000 in the seminar realm and never become a real estate investor. I met a guy, Venza and I, and they trick you sometimes too. Because they're like, grant writing seminar, and we're like, that would be a cool tool to add to what we're doing in real estate, right? Learn to do grants, doing HUD properties, multifamily stuff. And they spent about 10 minutes on grants, handed you some books, and then talked about investment, wanted to sell you the next product. There was a guy from Pahrump who had spent $27,000 and he was heading back to the room to sign up for the next thing. Doesn't own a home. Not even his own home. It's sad, but it doesn't work. The way they teach it doesn't work. They don't give you the whole A to Z. They give you a concept that sounds really exciting and tell you you're going to make $1 million next week. And then you get home and you're like, I have not the slightest idea where to go from here. or how to create a result. And there's no support. There's no one you're calling afterwards who's helping you move along. You're just kind of stuck going to the next one. In our school, in our university, Nouveau Riche, over 70% of our students become successful real estate investors. Successful meaning they create profit from it. Over 70%. For anyone who's been associated with any kind of company, that is a huge success rate. Huge success rate. You've been associated with other marketing companies before, right? Is ACN even close to that? Not even close, right? Yeah, maybe on a good day, right? This works. It works, and the system works, and the support works. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, good. So, few achieve results. Sad, but true. So, why do most people, okay, who here has not done any real estate investing? You've done some real estate investing? You guys have done some real estate investing? So, no, like investment, becoming an investor. So, what do you think the reasons are? Let's get some examples here. Money.
Knowledge.
They all come from knowledge. This is the first one, and to me, the most important one. Because most people are like that. Like, they really posed her a little confused. Like, the crunch lip, the pencil, huh?
Are they always that cute?
I know, yeah. That's the other thing about the colors. We'll get to that later. No, I'm just kidding. So, lack of knowledge. You do not know what you don't know. And what do most people do when they don't know something?
Run from it.
They run the other way. They get away from it as fast as they can because that is scary. That life, their little box, what they know is really safe and comfortable, so they stay there, right? So people don't know what they don't know. Like, things like what we do with the double lease options. I talk to guys who are multimillionaires, and they have no idea you can do that. They didn't think of it. Huge way to make money, right? Could you position yourself on 50 or 60 houses right now to make a profit down the road? Because the person you sublet to probably won't buy. 1% of lease option tenants ever buy. So you just set yourself up with using no money and credit to when the market turns, make money. And if it were to not turn up, you have no commitment. It is a genius strategy. Very few people know how to do it. Very few people I talk to, savvy investors, don't know how to do it. Next one, this one a lot of people deal with. Who here is really, really, really busy? Like you are so busy. There is just no time at all. You are so busy. Yeah? Yeah. Who busy? No one here is busy? Oh, come on. Guys. Yeah, come on. Okay, just checking. So, lack of time. I don't have time. I don't have time to be an investor, to go to school and learn, to go find properties. How am I going to do that? I've got this, and this. Right? Some people are there, or you know people that are there. So the next thing, the one you talked about over here. This guy, not even a piece of lint in his pocket. Nothing. Sad. Lack of money and credit, right? Who here believes, or has recently believed, that you need money and credit to become a real estate investor? You need money and credit to be a real estate investor, right? You don't. One of the most beautiful things, OPM, other people's money, one of the best things you can use. There's lots of strategies, wholesaling, brokering notes, things that don't take capital. Now, eventually you want your own money. However, everyone has a point A, and you can start from that point A and get whatever you want. So, what does all of this come down to? One thing. Not everybody wants this kind of read. Fear. False evidence, fear, and real, guys. Can any of these things stop you?
No, they can't stop.
What could stop you, though?
If you believe them.
You. The person sitting in your seat is the only person in this world that could stop you from being a successful real estate investor. No one else. And that's the truth. So when you look at it, regardless of the avenue you take, don't let yourself stop you. Because you do have a choice. So is it possible for one idea to change the world, guys? Is it possible?
Yeah.